How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem. Pleasure's mine. Thanks for having me.
I am very excited for this episode. So, as I said, usually I let people introduce themselves, and I definitely will, but I do want to read your bio and I do want to introduce you because I think it's so impressive. I was excited reading it because I didn't know that about you. So, I want to introduce you. So, Ketan Chand is a CEO and co-founder of Cyasoon, right? Am I reading it right? Cyasoon, awesome. The easiest way to go out and make new friends right now. In addition to this, he's also a technologist, entrepreneur, a real estate investor, and a special operations combat veteran. Starting out as a defense contractor after his education at Georgetown University, Ketan developed both classified and unclassified software for the Department of Defense in Washington, D.C. I was like reading it. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to continue. Feeling the need for something more, he joined the United States Army in 2013, deployed to Iraq as an airborne, sorry for that, that's a new word, infantryman?
Airborne infantry.
Thank you for that. To fight ISIS during Operation Inherent Resolve, and completed his career as a Special Forces Weapons Sergeant, also known as a Green Beret. Today, he then seeks to fight a new enemy facing humanity: loneliness, isolation, and depression, with his latest venture, Cyasoon. This is very impressive.
Well, you read it very impressive. Just slapping it together, it's like, this is what, that's it in a nutshell. I think is kind of what has shaped me more than anything else. That move from my professional life in Washington, D.C. was probably the single best decision I could have made as an individual, just me personally. It's not for everybody, it's obviously not necessary to succeed in life. The Army's been fantastic.
What made you decide to do that change? Like, what was the point that you were like, you know what, let me quit and do Army? Which is
right, yeah. And I get that question a lot. A lot of people come up to me, at least at the time, like 2013, I was doing pretty well. I was in Washington, D.C., I was a marauder, I was a mercenary, I was going from one defense contractor to another. How much money can I make? Let me go and interview with these guys and interview with these guys, and maybe I can get a little bit of a bump in my salary here, a bump in a raise here. I started my own freelance software company too that helped me also control my income, whatever. But it was defense contracts, and they are not inspiring. Let's call it that. Very controlled work. Not the most innovative type of work. It's bureaucracy. It's, here's the software that can help this bureaucracy run a little bit, or so they thought. Half the time the software maybe works. But for what I worked on, I tried to choose, I guess, the most glamorous jobs that you could. But in the end, it was all boring business applications. And there was maybe one job that was kind of cool, where it was like, okay, this is going to help the troops on the ground, on deployment, in theater. Okay, cool. That was the most fulfilling job. But guess what? I packed up, moved out of DC, and head down to Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I wasn't ready to move down and follow that job. And it was a tech job. It was at a desk. And I quickly realized, based on my lifestyle, I was not a desk guy.
same.
No, I couldn't sit still for more than 30 minutes. Get up and walk around, and obviously that's a good thing to do, but at the time it was frowned upon. And so that was annoying, but at the end of the day, it was just, am I really going to do this for the rest of my life? Am I really going to do this for another and another and another? Oh, let me buy a better car. Oh, let me do an upgrade to my house. Oh, let me go meet a new girl, or whatever. At the time I was single. So
It was just not satisfying.
It wasn't satisfying. Yeah, it was just, man, this is just so mundane, and I need to change. Right? So there were multiple things that I was looking at. But the number one was, I need something where I am actually doing something physical. At least travel, not just sit in some office room.
So they chose Iraq.
Well, I wanted to go everywhere. I mean, I guess the one pivotal moment, I guess, and I told you this, the one pivotal moment was, I was at a job at 2 in the morning, finishing a task, and I completed it. It was all dark, all the lights were off. The only thing that was on was like my computer screen, and I had the big old like office windows. I was in some high-rise building in DC, and I was like, okay, let me let the blood flow. I've been sitting here for 4 hours straight. So I stood up, walked over to the window, looked out the window, pitch black, starry night sky.
And it was just me and the air conditioner in the building and, what I was seeing out this window. And I looked up at the sky, saw the stars, and like, I'm not joking, like this formation of Black Hawk helicopters flew right over. And I saw the blinking red lights, and I saw the legs hanging over the side of, the exit door, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should be on that helicopter right now. Not here in this damn office building, slinging code for some nameless, faceless organization, defense contractor that's just, just sucking off the government tit, So I was like, all right, let me go and explore this. I did a deep dive that night. Basically, it was an all-nighter right there and then, just geeking out on everything I possibly could get my hands on. And then I settled on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the military, and I'm going to, do something a little more challenging, a little more, because life was easy. Okay, I went to college. Okay, I worked hard in college. It was not easy. I didn't have much of a social life in college. Georgetown kicked my ass. But, it was just, okay, if I just study and then pass my test and then study and then pass my test and then graduate, okay, and now I'll go and then network my way into a job, and then I did. And then you get a secret clearance, and now you're set for life in Washington, D.C. with that first little job that I had.
They say that the most dangerous place to be in life is comfortable. Just when you're comfortable.
I totally
and that's,
agree. Yeah, absolutely. Because life will just pass you by.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you'll wake up and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? Now I can't do any of these things that I wanted to do because either I'm injured or I'm old, or, I've got all these obligations, I've got family, I've got this and that. And so, I was 28 at the time, and I was already sick of it 7 years in. I did another few years in. It took me a long time to get into the military. That's a whole nother story. But that was the big thing. I wanted to do something challenging, and I wanted to do something exciting, and I wanted to do something new that was more in line with my personality. But there's one thing that always crept up in my life that I wanted to solve as well. And that was, I didn't have any good friends.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have any friends. Here I am, Washington, D.C., my career freaking just career chasing and focused on making as much money as I could make. But I didn't have anybody to hang out with on the weekends. I'd go out to bars alone, nightclubs alone. Everybody thought I was kind of weird, but I'd just go. I would talk to everybody in the bar. I would chat up everybody in the club just to get some kind of personal communication. Got some dates too while I was at it. But it was really just, I talked to everybody. I talked to old people. I talked to young people. I talked to, guys, girls, everybody, right? I talked to guys about sports. I talked to girls about celebrity news, whatever. It didn't matter, right? I just loved talking. I'm a natural extrovert.
I can see that because I've seen you talking to everyone, just walking around the room. And
you saw me at that event.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I was also working, but, still, But that's kind of, I enjoy that. I enjoy the company of other people. And I didn't have anybody. I didn't have any people. I had a girlfriend, and that was great. And, that was fantastic. And but the problem was I didn't have any bros. I didn't have a crew of my own.
Yeah.
And I did have friends, but they weren't true friends. They were not. They were cutthroat. They were competing with me. They were trying to one-up me. They were just comparing, Kethan's got this and Kethan's got that, and I just didn't feel like it was a real I've got somebody's back and he's got mine. That was a part of my decision to join.
That's your definition of a friend, to when somebody got your back? Because a lot of people are throwing the word friends around.
They are,
and
yeah.
And then you realize they're not really your friend, like
They're
you
not.
just said.
Yeah, yeah.
What would be a definition of a friend?
A friend is someone, in my opinion, a friend is someone who you and that person, or that a friend is someone who understands you and who is on the same path as you, and is either they're on the same path as you or they are a complement to your life and you are a complement to theirs. Like on an ongoing, consistent basis.
Okay.
That's the best I can come up with. I
Okay.
haven't really actually wrote down Kethan's definition of friend. But that's what I feel. And just, it's a thing you feel. Like, I feel like this person is my friend, you know?
Yeah.
And so, until I joined the military, I didn't have that.
Well, you'll
And
learn
now I
about
do.
friendship there.
And it's fantastic. Yeah, I'd learned
it's
about it
definitely-
very, very, in a very profound way. I did. And that has, and I thought about it, believe me, the entire time. Because I wasn't friends with everybody in the Army. Like, more people hated me in the Army than they liked me. Or just disliked me. They didn't hate me. I mean, that's a strong
But it's impossible to be friends with everyone. And I feel
can't
like
be
when you
friends with
have a
everyone.
strong personality, people will find it either good or bad. So I guess
Yeah.
it's a good thing in a way.
And just friendship comprises commonality, right? It's that same thing. You're on the same path. You're on the same you have a same kind of goal. I did some more research on this, I'm kind of a nerd too, so I would read articles about friendship, and why am I getting along really well with this person in my unit? Not so much with this other person. What's going on? I'm the exact same guy, right? I'm speaking to both of them in the exact same way. So that really...
Did you find an answer?
Well, I mean, it's complicated, but one of the big things is that same issue. Are you guys on the same path? Do you complement each other? Do you fill in the gaps emotionally, mentally, for the other person, and do they fill in gaps for you? And if that takes place, then friendship is a lot more likely. Okay. Also, do you have similarities? I mean, obviously, okay. You have to have some similarities, right? It's not just opposites attract for everything, right? But yeah, similarities are absolutely necessary. Why are you even doing, there's got to be some common bond, at least, between the two of you to consistently bring the two of you together. Now, traditionally, people, I guess, would make friends at school, right?
Yeah.
All my friends were at school, right, growing up. Why? Because we'd go to school, and we were in class together. And we had the same assignments, and we had the same miserable teachers, and we had the same awkward, gym experience, playing basketball when you're not very good at basketball or whatever, right? And so, so that's there. And then you build friendship there. But then once you leave school and you go your way and the other person goes their way, guess what? There's no more of that common bond. So what do? What have they done? Oh, let's make class reunions. Let's make homecoming. And then bring people back together to keep those friendships alive. Or a lot of people just straight up would not leave the town that they grew up in. I can't
It's
leave my
scary
hometown.
for a lot of people because
Yeah.
then everything is new. Like you mentioned, you go to a new town, you got no friends, you got nobody, you don't know anyone.
That's me, right here in
That's
New
a
York.
lot of New
Okay,
Yorkers,
yeah,
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. Well, at least when I got here 10 months ago. Cyasoon
Yeah.
has fixed that. I have wonderful people around me all the time now. But yeah, it's friendship is something that you need similarity. You need a common path, and you need to complement each other. And that will create liking each other organically. And over time, it's something that takes time, you'll become friends. So when I went into the Army, I wanted to do something very specific. I wanted to do hard combat stuff, right? I wanted to do fighting. I didn't want to be an X-ray technician, didn't want to be a cook, even though those guys do fight sometimes. Not taking anything away from you guys. But I wanted infantry, I wanted to be the guy with the gun in the jungle, as stupid as it sounds, right? As just
It's not because I've been through the same exact journey.
as absolutely
So
ridiculous as it sounds. Yeah,
I completely
I
understand
want to
you.
be the man, and there was, I'm a man, a man's got to do something to give himself a sense of accomplishment, sense of satisfaction, a sense of pride, an achievement, a memory. And I wanted to make memories with my life. It's like, okay, I'm going to go in the infantry. I want to be that guy in the jungle with the gun, sees the other guy with the gun, and they get in a fight. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but hey, I'm not going to apologize for it. That's who I am.
I mean,
And so,
I completely
yeah.
understand it. Again, like I said, I've been through the same thing. I also have been 3 years in the military. And when I served and I wanted to be a combat, people ask me, because I'm a girl, I don't have to. But I went towards it, and people will be like, why do you need this? You can be home every day. You can do some easy stuff, easy work. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
First of all, I can't be in an office. I will go crazy. Second, I want, like what you said, I want the memory. I want the adventure. I want something. And if I'm giving 3 years of my life, I want it to be meaningful. I want to remember, I want to learn something out of it. So I completely understand. Like, if you're already committing to something, doing something that you're actually going to enjoy, as crazy as it sounds, like, oh, let me go to, Iraq.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I guess a lot of folks have trouble with that. But then, like, you get in, and, as the saying goes, everybody wants to do infantry until they have to do infantry shit. Then they want to sit at home and run away and just hang out in the barracks and do whatever. But nah, my guys are good. And we all wanted, everybody that came in with me, and when you go to basic training, they group you by your MOS, your military occupational specialty, your job. And so we were all infantry guys. We all were chasing the war. We were all athletes. And we all wanted to do something amazing and memorable with our lives, even if it meant losing our lives. And obviously, nobody wants to die, but we joke around. I'm not even going to go into like all the jokes we tell each other about what's going to happen to us, but just say we have you develop a macabre sense of humor. But yeah, we had a common path. We had similarity. We were going to see each other every day. We're basically sleeping right under each other on bunk beds.
Yeah.
Or in the sleep sack. Yeah, on cold nights. Yeah, that you learn to bond pretty quickly. But no, I'm not going to go there. But anyway, so that's where I met the best friends that I still have today. Okay, now I've gotten out, and now I'm a tech startup CEO, founder. And a lot of them are still in. Some have gone to the National Guard. We were all active duty. And some went to the National Guard. I was in the National Guard for a bit. 4-year contract in the Guard after 6 years active duty. But they're still in. And a couple of them are still active duty still. And they're doing great with their careers. However, they're all over the world. One's in Hawaii. One's in Colorado Springs. One's still in North Carolina. They're here, there. One's in Florida. So, well, guess what? I don't want to lose those friendships. Knowing what I know about friendship, those 3 things that I mentioned, I have to make an effort myself, since I have the freedom to move around the world without asking my NCO for permission. I have to go visit them and keep in touch with them and kind of keep that friendship alive. It's something that you should do. If you value it, you should do it. And that's kind of what I have to kind of make a part of my life to maintain a friendship with someone. Because these are my best friends. There's no way in hell that I will ever allow them to get a little emotional here. There's no way that I would ever allow them to kind of depart from my life. I'll do whatever I can, I'm not going to smother them, obviously, with love, but, hey, what are you doing? Let's go climb this mountain. I'll go out to Colorado. And I've got real estate in Wyoming, so that makes it convenient for that one guy in Colorado Springs. You know who you are, Adam. So, yeah. But that was one of the biggest reasons also that I joined, and probably the best thing that I got out of the Army was the friendships that I made.
I completely agree. But it's also hard because they're not physically here in New York. So that also can make it hard. And I know a lot of people who move here to New York, whatever they're doing here, a lot of the good friendships they have are left somewhere at home or, from the military or in their hometown, and they moved here. And it makes it so hard to make new friends, because I feel like for me, especially, like sometimes I would compare the friendship, which is not something you should do. But I would be like, oh, my friends at home that I've been through so much with. Yeah. And then when I meet new people, the friendship is not there yet, and it takes time to build it. Yeah. And sometimes it's that, and sometimes it's not, For me, for example, it's very important when friends are, like in the military, friends are there for you in the moment of hardship, in the moment of need. They're there for you. And unfortunately, that's how you test a lot of these friendships, unfortunately, because then when something happens, you can see who are the people who are there for you and who are the people who are just like, whatever, and they forget all about you. So I do understand the struggle of having all these amazing friends spread all over the,
All right.
not even the country, even like the world, right?
You know what I'm going through, yeah. But I mean, I am making friends here. It just takes time.
It's okay, it's still recording, just the
cool.
flash went off. I don't know why.
But I'm still here, and I am making friends here. And it will take time. I've hired a great team. But I want them to know that even though, and I'm still kind of on the fence. Should I be friends with these guys? Should I not be friends with my staff? I don't know. Don't take advantage of the friendship, But at the very least, I can look out for them. I can give them that sense of belonging. That's a part of leadership.
Yeah.
To know that I put their needs above my own, right? That's part of the creed of the non-commissioned officer, right?
Yeah.
I know my men, I always place their needs above my own, right? And so I try to bring all of these wonderful, very valuable lessons and training and education from my military experience to how I operate Cyasoon. And so far, so good. It's a badass team. I don't have to micromanage them. I don't have to sit there with a stick over their shoulder.
That's how you want your team.
Yeah,
definitely.
I want to give them a task and purpose, left and right limits, and they go, and they crush it. Self-starters. I mean, when you're a technology startup, that's what you have to have.
Yeah.
I make it very clear, we are not a 9-to-5 organization. We are not a holidays or weekend organization. And we're not even a market pay rate organization either. But they have to come to work because they see a vision and they see a love, at least of some kind, for me as the founder, for my co-founder. And so you learn a lot about people. I was kind of oblivious to that before I went in. Because you don't have to be around people. I have a nice house. I wake up, get my car, drive to work, go to work, sit at my desk, do my work. Hey, Stan, how's it going? Hey, Carol. Smells like a great lunch you got over there. And then finish my work and then come home and then watch TV or go to the gym or whatever. There's no, I'm not living with anyone. I'm not on a common mission with anyone.
And it's so important. A lot of people are missing on that, and it's so important to have this, whether it's friendships, teams, or just a group of people, networking, people that when you're around them, you want to be better. You want them to be better. And it builds together.
Exactly.
So that's why having the right team is so important. And especially in a startup, you want the right team because you want to grow together. You don't just want employees who come work, like you said, 9 to 5 and finish the day and go off to
You're not going to be a startup very long. Yeah. No.
So,
You can be an end up, startup. Yeah. So, there's of the multitude of pitfalls that are in a startup's path. All right. A lack of team cohesion is one of them.
For sure.
And if you don't have that, good luck. So I try to bring that out, and that's a part of why Cyasoon exists.
And I want to talk about that.
Oh,
I want to talk. It's good that we're connecting to Cyasoon now because this is this is about friendship and about finding those people, especially here in the city. Like I said, a lot of people are moving. This show is dedicated to people who are moving to New York, whether alone or with somebody. But even if you're moving with somebody, you still need this network of people, friendship, and it brings us to your app that you're developing.
Well, it's an app, it's a platform, and it is a vision that I have had that my original co-founder, my brother, Raveen, he's an investor now in the operation. He's still with us. He's just not doing day-to-day stuff. Mm-hmm. But he came up with this idea. And he brought it to me. When I came off active duty, I was like, all right, here it is. I'm going from active duty. I'm going to the National Guard. and I've been selected for special forces. So, okay, for anybody out there who's like, what, National Guard Special Forces? Yes, it's a thing. You can be in a special forces unit in the National Guard. It is the same training. It is completely a part of the same command, USASOC, and it's literally like the 19th and 20th group, which is at equal footing as the other groups. It's just a National Guard unit, different way you get paid. That's all. That's the only difference. The training is the same. The courses are the same. So I knew that when I was coming off active duty, okay, I'm going to go to Special Forces training while I'm in the National Guard, and I'm going to do the exact same training with all the active duty guys. I didn't even leave like my house at Fort Bragg. I was there with the 82nd Airborne, and then I went straight to Special Warfare Center at Fort Bragg, just waiting for training. So I had 3 months. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. No more 82nd. Oh, I can breathe easy. I don't have to have my uniform perfectly curated every single day. My boots don't have to be tied perfectly every day. It was a nice little break. I mean, after a while, you start getting sick of like being a bag of ass. But anyway, that's just me. But I knew that, hey, National Guard is not full-time, right? You can make it full-time in the Special Forces by just going to schools and going on deployments and, you know, going to training and going to drill as many times as you want. If you want to be full-time in the National Guard guys, any National Guard guys, go to SF. You'll get all the money. Okay, so, and all the training. Okay, but yeah, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that. I've got, I've got a family, right? I've got obligations. So I need to make a little bit more money, and that's where the civilian career comes in. So I said, okay, what's my civilian career going to be? I had this 3-step plan, and I knew that I was always going to be able to be a freelance software developer with my old freelance company. I'd hire the contractors, they'd build software, I'd be the point of contact for all of them, and I would build code myself. It's a 25-year, experienced software developer myself with degrees and all that. It's like, why waste that education?
It's not going anywhere, exactly.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I'm always going to be able to adapt to new technologies and whatnot. So, okay, cool. So I've got that, but I want something more. I want to be a part of the investor class. So I said, okay, well, let me look at investments. Let me start. I've got some money, I've saved up over the years. What am I going to do with it? And then I was like, it's got to be passive. If I'm going to be in the military, I'm not going to be able to give it full time. And so that's where real estate came in. So all through the National Guard, I was a real estate investor. I still am a real estate investor. Obviously, I have all those properties, and they still keep me sustained here in New York City. Thank God I did that. This place is expensive as hell. Oh my gosh. I don't know how people do it. I guess they have jobs that pay well here. Okay, that's cool.
Work hard, yeah.
yeah, and which is why they have to focus so much on their work so that they can keep that job and make the money to be able to afford to live here.
Yeah.
At least in Manhattan. I don't know. Maybe it's less expensive in Long Island. I don't know. But Manhattan's where it's at, obviously. But then I knew. I was like, okay, look, I'm a little bit older. I'm not getting any younger. Like that whole thing. It's like, I want to create generational wealth, and I want to have fun doing it. And if I'm going to go balls out, 100%, roll the dice, take the big risk, then I need to make that eventually my number one. I just didn't know what. Right? I didn't know what it was. I had like 5 different ideas like going on in my head at the time, and I was like, I could build any one of these, but which one is the one that's going to make me happiest? There was like, okay, let's automate storage units. There's real estate tech that I was thinking about too, like because it was complementary to my other investments and my other companies that I started. I started 4 companies during that time. 1 technology, 2 real estate, and 1 nonprofit for veterans.
It's awesome. I love how you like just do all the time.
Just do,
That's,
just
like,
execute.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, I mean, like the more you hesitate, the more you screw yourself, right? I just go and it'll buff. Like that's my expression. It'll buff. You fuck it up, it'll buff. It's fine as long as you're not dead. You'll be okay.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not dead or, paralyzed or crippled. I don't know. Even if you're paralyzed or crippled, like I could be happy as a
Still alive.
with all my skin burned off. I'd be happy. So there's that macabre humor. Anyway, so sorry.
Optimistic.
Yeah. I'm an eternal optimist too. Yeah. So
That's important.
but yeah, just be optimistic and execute. Make a decision. The speed, I think it was Alex Hormozy that said this, like the delta between when you know you should do something and when you do it when the people who minimize that delta are the ones who win,
Yeah.
as opposed to the ones who just sit there and just like,
The more you think about it, the more the fear creeps in, and you're like, oh, I can do it. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe that's not good. That's not enough. And then all these, negative thoughts, they start crippling in. So it's better to just
so it's like, hey, do I want to start I need a recruiting vehicle. And it's like, okay, well, how do I do that? Okay, let's build some kind of network effect. And then lo and behold, hey, you start a charity. It solves multiple problems. It's called the Georgetown University Veterans Association. And so I'm a Georgetown University graduate, partner up with 2 other guys, 501c3. We got the election from the IRS. It's great. Tax deductible contributions, guys. And so
can they donate online if I put the link on the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We don't have that ready yet.
Okay.
We just got it fired up.
Okay. So when it's ready, I'm gonna link it to.
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be
the YouTube.
fantastic. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
So, but yeah, so I started that. Anyway, I don't want to digress too much. See you soon. All right. So, but that was the primary. I was like, there's going to be something. Eventually, it's going to happen. Either, I'm going to be done with the military one day, and this has to be the only thing I work on. There can be no other serious distractions. I have my investment, sure, but nothing else. No full-time job, no part-time job, no other side hustles. I didn't know what it was. My brother shows up. He had just had a revelation. He doesn't want to live in LA anymore. I guess a lot of people are having that revelation these days.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, I'm moving out of LA. I can't take it anymore. But listen, Ketan, I've got this idea. I'm like, okay, what is it? He told me all about it. And I thought, okay, this is pretty freaking cool. This is going to change so many people's lives. This is going to get rid of all of those nuisances that people have in their life using technology to enhance their personal lives. And I know I can build it because I have the know-how.
Can you tell us the idea because I use the app, but can you mention it a little bit for those of you who don't know what Cyasoon is yet?
This is the idea that he brought me. He said, Ketan, let me tell you about this. I'm like, all right. And this had been going on for a while. Okay. He'd been talking, chit-chatting with me about this and that. He's like, all right, let me give you the idea. Imagine that you are new to a geographic area, a city, let's call it, and you don't know anybody. And not only that, you're so busy that you don't even have time to make plans. You don't even have time to research what's going on.
Especially here in New York.
Yeah. Okay. But you know that there are things going on, but you don't know the right people. You don't know the right, place to find the information. And you just want to spontaneously, that's the key word, spontaneously, without a plan and without a heavy lift of your evening, go and do something fun with someone else who also wants to do that thing. You don't want any hassle. You don't want to have to worry if that person is compatible with you, and you don't want to have to go and do all of the jump through all the hoops and overcome all the obstacles, like texting, like planning, like dealing with people who aren't genuine, who aren't sincere about wanting to do something right now. People who are maybe looking just for attention, as opposed to they really want to go and do something. And here's how we could use the mobile device, the phone, to do. It's like, oh, so this is like a dating app. It's like, yeah, you could use it for dating, but it's really just go out and have fun with people right now and go do activities. It's activity based. And the system will help you enhance not just your social life, but also your active life. Okay. And I fell in love. And we said, we got to give it a name. He's like, all right. So we spent probably 2 or 3 days. He was visiting me at the time. I was like, so over the next 2 or 3 days, I'm like, all right, you know what? We got it. See you soon. Cyasoon. Okay. Like you're texting someone. And The domain name was available. It wasn't cheap, but it was available. And the no trademarks, nothing, no logo, nothing. It was ours. I was like, that's it. We're taking it. And so Cyasoon was born, and we started planning it out. He was a designer. He's the creative one. I've got one brother. He's the creative one. I'm the logical one. He's more introverted. I'm more extroverted. That's kind of reversed, right? The creative one's supposed to be the extrovert.
Not necessarily. Knowing artists, some artists just like let me create and leave me alone.
Okay. All right, there's introverted artists. Okay, so he's an introverted artist, but he's fantastic. Okay, he's kind of a savant. So
isn't it the perfect team? One creative, one that can execute all the technological.
It's a good team. It's not. We quickly learned it's not the perfect team.
Really,
I can tell you what I think. At least what I've been trained with like business training and whatnot, what kind of the perfect team is, or the ideal team, at least starting out. But he was the creative one, and he started doing all the designs. And I was like, Raveen, listen. My brother's name's Raveen. It's like, hey, I am about to go into special forces training, okay? So here's what you can do. We'll put in the trademarks and all that kind of stuff, and we'll buy the domain name, but I've got to do this training because this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 years. So you do the creative aspect, and then when I'm done and I'm back out into the world as a newly minted Green Beret, and you're done with this task, okay, now we'll move forward, and then I'll write it and build the actual software, and then we'll go from there. It's like, okay, cool. And so Cyasoon, he worked on that, design side. I worked on the development side. And so that brings us to today. I wrote the first line of code June 1, 2023. It's now middle of July, 2024. We've got MVP. We've been out 4 months, 800 downloads, what have you. We're just getting started. But yeah, we were able to produce it, build the product, and get it out there. We also have a fantastic marketing director. I actually have a tech lead now, so he works under me. I'm still technically the CTO. And just growing, but I'm not going to grow too big until, we get solid product market fit. So these are all terms we can go over later.
No, but I mean, it takes time, but you're on the go. So
it takes time, but you got to move fast.
Yeah.
Speed, execute, you make a decision and you go, you do it.
Yeah.
As long as, you don't, as long as you're not going too slow, as long as you don't have the wrong team, as long as you don't have the wrong idea, as long as you're, pursuing all of the right avenues. And it's really just, finding the ideal customer and selling that product to that customer and building up your customer base. A lot of it's trial and error, and there's nothing you can do about it. And with trial and error, you try something, you execute as fast as you can, you fail as fast as you can, you adapt as fast as you can, and you try again as fast as you can. It's all speed.
Yeah.
And it's all full tilt, 100%. And if you're chilling, your startup's going to be an end up. So now, see you soon. It's out.
Yeah.
It's out there in the wild.
We're going to talk about Cyasoon specifically after the break. We're going to go into the app itself, the events that you're having, who is it for, how to use it, and all these amazing things. We're going to do a little break. You're going to give my phone a little time to recharge with the flash, although it's still recording. And we'll come back in like 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
Stay with us. Welcome back, whoever is live with us. Okay, so we stopped on such a great note because we dove deep into your history and how you made it all happen, which was so inspiring. So thank you for that. I want to talk about the app a little because, as I mentioned before, I'm going to mention like 1,000 times, this show is for people who come new to New York, people who want to start in the city fresh, who are coming from out of the country, out of the city, and they're looking for a new job, new apartment, new friends, new everything. And this platform that you created is going to give them the opportunity to meet people, whether it's for friendship, networking, maybe dating, like you mentioned, it's possible, right? But just meeting people in the city.
I wouldn't use it for dating. I wouldn't. It's fast.
But it happens.
It is fast.
But it happens.
It will
You know,
happen. I
it
mean,
will
well,
happen like
okay.
naturally in a social platform.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, one of the things we say is, um, getting a romantic partner is like going from 0 to like 100. But if you don't have a social circle, if you don't have any friends, then you're not going to have that positive feedback loop to make you, I guess, I mean, people can pull it off. I mean, I did, right? But I still had friends. We believe that you should make friends first. Like, not
It's a process. I mean, obviously, I didn't mean to like go. It's not a Tinder app. It's not a Hinge. No. What I meant is, I had this conversation with Kelly when she was here from Shaka Club, and she mentioned that the Shaka Club is not for dating, but people do meet each other there sometimes, and obviously, that just happens naturally. So
sure, yeah, absolutely, and that's like a healthy way to go about it. It gives you the ability to not be so transactional with people, and kind of find those three things, right? Do we have similarities? Do we complement each other? And are we on the same path? If we are, great. We can be friends, maybe even lovers, So that's kind of the premise. But really the base premise is it's a spontaneous friends meetup app.
Okay, so
activity based.
Can you walk us through how that works?
Absolutely.
I
Sure.
downloaded the app, I registered, and I'm happy to tell you that there is a check. You need to like go through like a certain security little check to make sure you're a human being, you're not a creep, you're good. So
safety's a big deal.
Yes.
Okay. If it's spontaneous, everybody kind of freaks out. Whoa, this is spontaneous. This is really fast. That means I'm going to meet someone in 15 minutes or less. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal. And we want people to be assured that A, these are real people, and B, that some level of scrutiny has taken place before you meet them, right? It's still New York, okay, and it's still an open app, available to everybody. So there's a face and photo ID confirmation verification, just your photo. Basically, your photo on your ID has to match your face, and you're good. And then we do an asynchronous criminal background check. Just the basics, stuff that you can go and find anywhere on your own. Mm-hmm. Sex offender registry, FBI most wanted list, arrest warrants, those are the three big things that you can find for people. I think the NYPD will put that stuff out, or FBI obviously puts that stuff out. We just facilitate that and make it super fast for you to get confirmation that these guys are good to go, whoever it is, what man, woman, it doesn't matter. And non-binary. So basically, the way Cyasoon works.
Yes.
Very simple. You want to get all the crap out of the way.
The link is below, by the way, YouTube people. The link is below.
Yeah. Speed, right? It's a common theme here. Speed. You turn it on. You log in. Okay, you've onboarded, as you've already done. And it takes you straight to, within like 30 seconds, frictionless onboard now. Takes you to the video. And you take a selfie video. Just like you would if you were traveling, okay? And you say in the video what you want to do.
Yeah, it was actually very easy because there was a text above that literally said, just tell us what you want to do. And I'm like, okay. Okay. I want to meet people, creatives, photographers, music.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect use case. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad. Yes. So, and that's where my brother's coming from too. He's like, listen, I want to hang out with other people who are interested in the same thing that I want. So for me, it's like, hey, I like, high protein, low carb meals. I'm a weightlifter, I'm a runner, I'm an athlete, and I like to hang out with people who are into physical fitness. Okay, that's me. All right, cool. So I make that video, 15 seconds. That's it. That's the limit. Be brief, be quick, know what you want, and just upload it. What do you feel like doing? I want to go shopping for sunglasses. Who knows a good pair of sunglasses out there? I'm on Broadway. I'm in Soho. Okay, you upload the video. You shoot it up to the cloud. And then the artificial intelligence. The AI does the rest. Now, this is not the AI that's going to take over the world and kill everybody. It's not the AI that's going to put you out of a job. This is your AI. It's your pet Cyasoon AI. Okay, it does your bidding, and it is your kind of your curating butler for who it is that you're going to see in your video feed. And so the AI will take your video, it'll listen to your voice, it'll parse out, or it'll, analyze everything that you said, and it'll match you up.
I got matched with you. I saw your video after I did the video. Like, oh,
Fantastic.
let's hang out.
There you go, right? So I'm a user of my own product. Okay. So basically, that's how it works. You'll see the video feed. Keep that commonality with other kind of apps that people will use. And you can go through your videos. You'll see all the people that are on there at that particular time. No video lasts more than an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
So so for example, I can't go there and be like, oh, let's hang out tomorrow. It needs to be now?
That's right. It's
Okay.
right now. It's spontaneous.
Okay.
There's no profile. You can't say, oh, I want the perfect video, and it just is on a loop, and I'll get all this attention from people, and they'll look at it, and we'll do something later. No.
Right now.
Intentionality. You want to do it right now. I want to go to a rock concert at Bowery Ballroom right now. Okay? That's what you put in your video. AI does the work. Let the AI do the work. Let it be your friend. We'll make it your friend. We'll keep it on a leash. Okay. And basically that AI will find people. And then once you match up with people, or with one person, and they match up with you, the AI will then guide you with a map, like Uber, to the location within half a mile distance. So halfway between the two. It's a 1 mile radius. It's the maximum distance between you and another person.
Okay.
And then the location where you will go will be within a half mile distance. So you can walk there. And this is just the first version. We'll add transit later. We'll add, Uber, cars, all that kind of stuff later. But yeah, right now, MVP, minimum viable product, we're in Lower Manhattan, and there's a limitless supply of things to do in Lower Manhattan. There's a limitless supply of comedy clubs and concert halls and shopping and restaurants. Give me a break. Like, can't throw a rock without hitting a restaurant in Lower Manhattan. Okay. So that is how it works. You then go right now because, hey, you wanted to do it right now. You're using Cyasoon. You then go and you meet up with your new friend, and as you are en route, you can, send audio messages back and forth to each other. That's a feature that's about to be released. Right now, basically, you just show up, and then you arrive, you see your friend, they see you. What's up? What's going on? Hey, let's talk about what we're doing, and then, you do what it is that you wanted to do. You've got something to talk about. You're already on the same path. You already have similarities. You're using Cyasoon. Now you only need one more component, which is you complement each other. And that's up to you. So we've taken out all three components and brought it down to one component. And it's spontaneous, and it's right now.
I love the video aspect of it because it's when you see a person's video, it's very it's easier to catch the vibe and the energy of the person rather than just seeing a photo that they uploaded.
You can't do that with text messaging. I've been on the dating apps. Okay. They're terrible, and they're really bad for men. Women are not having a good time either.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
Yeah, women hate them, men hate them. Like, nobody's happy. Basically, a man has to be this comedian, dancing monkey, to kind of entertain, so it seems, with text message. Well, now I have to take something that's unnatural, which is texting, and be entertaining with my text messages. And I'm sorry, I'm not a writer. I'm not a comedian. I've gone to improv comedy classes, sure, but, sometimes meaning is lost in text messages.
That's for sure.
With audio, okay, you can send an audio. That's a little bit better. So we are implementing that as you are en route, though, to the location to meet that person. But video is it. I was like, that's it. We are doing video. We're not texting. I'm not going to do this ravine if we're going to do texting. He's like, okay, fine, we'll do video. It's like, video is cheap now. We found a great video host. it works, and it's pretty damn quick with 5G. So thank God for all of these new technologies. Cyasoon would not have been possible 5-10 years ago. We just didn't have the infrastructure to be able to pull it off. 5G, right? Video hosting, like cheap video hosting, like none of that was possible. There was no real AI. There was no open AI. Okay, there was no Gemini or whatever, or whatever, the AI components that we're using, which are slightly different. There was no like AI content moderation, right? So we make sure that, your video's clean, that you're not naked, that you're not,
offensive.
Offensive. You're not
illegal.
advertising something. There's no QR code that you're putting up there, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You're not turning this into some spam tool. It's real, it's genuine. And so just that in a nutshell, that simplicity. I want to do something with somebody right now, and I'm not looking for a date. I'm looking for a good time. Okay, with someone who enjoys the activity that I like to do.
I love that idea.
That is something that is facilitated and made fast. As easy as it is to get an Uber, okay, when we're at scale, obviously. Okay, right now, we need to grow a little bit. But when we're at scale, it'll be as easy to spend time with someone that you will like doing something with as it is to get an Uber or to get an Airbnb.
I love that. And I know that it's not only an app, like it's a platform, right? What else do you offer?
Well, okay, we gotta make money. Unfortunately, I wish this could be
Damn.
tutti frutti tra la la, rainbows and unicorns and everything's free, but it's not, right? So we thought, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna charge people for this? How much are we gonna charge them? And I said, we can charge them, but you know what? I think there's another way here. There's a way for everybody to enjoy the Cyasoon experience and get their feet wet without having to cough up some cash on the end user side. It's like, okay, what are we doing? We are bringing you and we are bringing your potential new friend to a location to do something fun together that you both already want to do. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but when I go out in New York, I think just about the only thing that's free is, the park. Getting assaulted on the subway. No, you even have to pay $2.90 to get assaulted on the subway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we knew that people are going to spend a little bit of money when they go out. They're going to get a coffee.
That's just living in New York.
That's just living in New York.
How it is.
It's impossible. Money just falls out of your pockets in the city, right? Okay, so all right, let me go get my $7 vanilla latte. Okay, and talk about sports and and hiking with my new friend at the coffee shop. Okay. Well, guess what? Let's make this worth your while. And let's make this worth our while. You go, you buy your latte with Cyasoon. New feature, okay?
Okay.
You pay it. It works with the payment processors that are in place already at the location. And we take a cut of that transaction. And you get a cut of that transaction. You get 5% cash back. Let's make it worth your while. Okay, this is the plan. Okay, there will be some kinks along the way.
That's cool.
This is the plan. You see us soon. You verify. First, you have to verify the other person. Okay, that, hey, are you safe? Is this a real person who is reflected in the video? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Up, down, left, right. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. So, great. Now you guys are together. Hey, guys, get 5% cash back on your bill. Don't buy that burger with your credit card. Buy it with Cyasoon and Apple Pay or Google Pay. Okay. And get a little perk out of it. So that is how we will monetize in the least intrusive way, I should say, the Cyasoon experience. And that'll allow us to grow and move on to other cities and saturate Manhattan and Brooklyn and all of Jersey and Long Island, whatever, everywhere, right? Onward to Boston, D.C., Miami, Vegas. Okay. And so as we grow, we can offer incentives not just to that, for example, that restaurant or that cafe that I mentioned, but also event hosts. So if you're selling tickets for some kind of spontaneous event that you're doing, hey, get on Cyasoon Professional. So there's two components, Cyasoon Professional and Cyasoon Business. all of the restaurants, the bars, nightclubs, gyms, what have you, they'll have accounts on Cyasoon Business, and all the event hosts and concert organizers, what have you, people assembly. Even if you wanted to have a party at your own house and you wanted to sell tickets for the party at your own house, Vika's party, you could be an event host on Cyasoon Professional. Say, here's what I want. Here's all the tickets. Put it out there. Make a selfie video, and you can put up an ad. Okay, but the ad is not like some fabricated, designed production studio ad. It is you, the individual, making a selfie video just like everybody else, telling people about what it is that you're doing and what it is that you would like to sell them and what you're offering. And, they can scroll through whatever, that's fine. And if you don't want to see the ads, you can pay $5 a month and not get the ads. But yeah, that's the that's the idea.
So a question. So, okay, if we went through a process of like, if I'm an individual and I want to get on the app, I apply, I sign up, I do the video. What if like you mentioned, because there's businesses as well. What if somebody is watching and they're a business and they're a restaurant owner? What would be a good way to, do they need to like also apply through the app, or do they need to contact you and become a business?
That's right. Well, okay, look, they can contact us anytime. Okay, we have fantastic customer service, but they can
website?
Through a website? They can go to the website. So if they're a business, they should go to Cyasoon.biz. Okay. And if you are an event host, or you're just an independent organizer of events, you go to Cyasoon.pro and be an event host there. So Cyasoon.pro and Cyasoon.biz. Maybe we'll change the nomenclature later, but right now that's the best way to kind of differentiate. And it's a platform just for you. And it's just like if you were to be an Uber driver or an Airbnb host or whatever. You get on there. Okay, now you're a Cyasoon business. You're a Cia sponsor, or you're a Cia spot. There's multiple tiers, of course, and there's different perks for what you get. If you're an event host, you're a Cia host on Cyasoon Pro. And enjoy. Bring people over. Show them a good time, make a little bit of money as a side hustle for yourself, selling tickets to your private event. And then everybody can use Cyasoon to find you and get to your location and enjoy their New York travel experience. Or if they moved here, like me, I just moved here 10 months ago. And
welcome.
I want to see what's going on. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like New York. I've had, the entire gamut of feelings and emotions about this place, but yeah, it's a net positive rather than net negative, which is good.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it's an amazing city. There's limitless, it's just insane. I couldn't believe it. How does a place like this exist? There are more restaurants, bars, and nightclubs on Mulberry Street than in the entire state of Wyoming. Or freaking Colorado, northern Colorado, where I'm from.
The possibilities and the opportunities here. And we always mention here in the show that it's not easy to live here. You need to be willing to, work hard and to want to progress with the city. It's not a let's go chill here kind of city. No. But it's definitely worth it if you're that kind of a person. If you like, working hard. And I'm not talking like 24/7 working hard. No, I'm saying like developing yourself, working hard, I'm being ambitious. That's definitely.
People come here because they want to do something. Nobody's in New York because they just want to hang out.
Yeah, definitely.
They've got big dreams, why am I here? I've got big dreams for Cyasoon. I've got big dreams for going global with this and building a business that not only helps people, but, enriches their lives. Helps. This is a health issue. I think there was a study. It's like the number one, the number one happiest group of people in the world are the Amish. They don't have any electricity.
Really?
They don't have any electricity.
No, but are they the happiest?
They are the happiest people.
Damn.
They're like the happiest people in the world are the Amish in like Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and they don't even have electricity. Right, they have no modern conveniences, anything like that. Well, they have each other.
Friends.
They have the friends.
Real friends, yeah.
They have real, true, lifelong friendships, brotherhoods, sisterhoods. They have that. They're so happy. And you go up to them. I mean, I've been to Lancaster County. I've visited many times. And I have family there. And they are just, they're just great people. They do their thing. And, they're just, the survey says they're the happiest. We need to bring some of that to New York. I will walk into my apartment complex, my building, and there will be 5 people waiting around the elevator to go up, and not one person say another word to another. I'll look over and I'll be like, hey, what's going on? No response, or just a grunt, a bleat. And then they all have, half of them have their AirPods in. They don't want to talk.
Well,
It's like, we
AirPods,
live in the same building. I'm your neighbor. If you need a stick of butter, I'm right next door to you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's something that I noticed that was difficult a little bit for me as well, because I do have neighbors, and the only conversations I had with them is when they flooded my apartment.
They flooded your apartment.
Yeah, but I flooded my neighbor's apartment, and then my neighbors flooded their neighbor's apartment. It's like, it's a whole, I don't know why we just did it to,
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's a terrible story.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
but it's fine. There's no damage. It's okay. But that's the only time we had conversations.
Yeah.
But that being said, I remember when moving into my building, I live in Manhattan. My neighbor saw that I'm moving, right? The neighbor next door, not above me.
Yeah.
He saw that I'm moving, and he's like, listen, I have this table I wanted to get rid of, but I saw you moving. Like, would you like this table? This table still stands in my living room.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
It really,
Wasn't that nice?
yeah, it's really
that was
nice.
really
And I see him in the hallway, and I'm like, hi, how you doing? Good,
Yep.
great, amazing. But it is rare.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
with
strange.
everyone.
It's strange. I mean, and just as a contrast, I mean, when I moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina, right, the first apartment building that I was there when I was in the Army or stationed there, within a month, I was going to parties at my neighbor's apartment. We were having barbecues out in the back, right? And I think they had at least 10, 12 people coming from different apartment units in our building. And in like a month, just walking around the halls. So this is a thing. And I think it's just people come to New York to achieve something, and they're very focused, and they're very wrapped up in the career and just, the drive that they have. Like, this is
Less
a city
sense of
elites.
community. In
Well, yeah,
bigger
it's like
cities.
I have to do this,
Yeah.
right? And like, nobody in my apartment building works with me, so how are they going to help me, right? So on this one particular task, but your coworkers aren't going to come over and have a good time with you. They're not going to come over and get to know you and be a part of your life and contribute and compliment you in some way. They're not going to help you with work, sure, but there's other paths that you can go on, that I'm sure you definitely want to meet the people that you at least live next to, right? And so I think that's one of the issues. And so, hey, I'm like, if there's any place that needs Cyasoon the most, it's New York City. They say it's the loneliest place in the world, with 20 million people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a question. Do you have a targeted audience to this platform, or everyone can? How does that?
Yeah, I mean, as a technology startup, this is one of the fundamental things that you need to do as a business, is identify who's your customer, or at least who's your initial customer.
Mm-hmm.
And usually that initial customer will be those who are absolutely just crazy obsessed with your product. And so we've kind of zeroed in on who that is. It took us a little bit of hard knocks to find that one out, but I think we've gotten to the bottom of it, and we'll continue to refine. But it is people who are, one, hey, it's a fast, spontaneous app. You got to be outgoing initially,
Yeah.
to really get it and to really embrace it. So you got to be outgoing. You kind of have to be young. We've explored many different age groups. The ones that are, I'm not saying that nobody will enjoy it, and like I said, everybody, all y'all need to get on Cyasoon. But the ones who are just bam, they want it is the younger Gen Z crowd.
Okay.
The 18 to 25 crowd is just absolutely like, where has this been all my life? Yeah. So we take young, outgoing. Okay. We drill down a little deeper. These people are also very active. They like going out. They like doing things. So they either like to party, or they like to, get together at social gatherings, or they like to exercise together. So active, so either athletic, or they like musical events of some kind, or parties. And last but not least, of those crew, the ones who are the least, I would say, I guess, focused on sticking with like a clique, or sticking with the kind of like a group that they already know.
Mm-hmm.
They really want to meet someone new. It doesn't matter, right? They're not as picky as to who it is, as long as they meet those criteria. They're outgoing and active and friendly. International visitors and international folks who have come to New York City for whether it's work or school, mainly school students.
Yeah.
That is far and away like our most
Ardent
supporters.
sense.
Yeah,
Makes
they
sense.
love it.
Because you come here mostly, especially if you're work students, you come here alone. So
That's
you
right.
want to meet people. You don't
That's right.
have like most people your age are already in some sort of group. They have their own friends. They have, and us, the international folks, we come here and we're like, what now? And
Right, and
we-
you just told
we
me,
seek,
over the break,
that.
you came here from Israel.
Yeah.
And you came here alone.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I've met many Israeli folks. Well, you know what? Maybe you guys should use a tool. Maybe it'll help you like get together and do something cool.
And I see it all the time. I see it on Facebook groups a lot. There's a Facebook group for girls, and constantly I see posts of like, hey, somebody wants to hang out. I want to have a coffee. Maybe I'm here alone. So many posts like that.
Okay.
So many.
That's
So-
it. Yeah, that's where we fit in spontaneously. Solve your problem very quickly with Cyasoon, and it's fun. I have an international background myself. I mean, yeah, sure. I grew up in the South, and I was in the military and whatnot, and I'm pretty hardcore American, right? But I'm an Indian guy. My family is Indian, and not just Indian. My dad's from the Fiji Islands, South Pacific, and then half my family's in Australia and New Zealand, and so my mom's there right now, with my COO. So they're down there doing all kinds of stuff. So it's and I lived there when I was a teenager, right? And I've been to many countries around the world and travel with my family. So India also. So that's kind of my background, to a significant extent. I know what it's like living outside of the United States for a long period of time. I went to high school in Sydney. So I can appreciate the difficulty that someone from overseas comes to the United States. Oh, big bad United States. Everybody kind of like looks forward to it. And so they get here, and then they want to get going, and they want to do that in the smoothest way possible, and they want to have a good time, and they don't want any stress or have to worry about safety or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing, to see their faces light up when they come to an event that we're throwing, or when they use the app for the first time, when they actually meet up with us. It's great to see that the app, the concept of the app works for this particular person, and I think we may have found product market fit. Let's see.
I'm so happy to see it. Since I started the show, I talked to many people about ways to connect to people. And as I mentioned before, we had Kelly from the Shaka Club, and we met through the Shaka Club. So this thing
I love
works,
Kelly. Kelly's great.
And now we have the
Caitlin too.
Cyasoon. Yeah.
I haven't met Ryan yet. Where the hell are you?
It's busy. But yeah, we have the Cyasoon app. I also mentioned to you NYC 57, which is mostly for creatives, musicians, filmmakers, photographers, cinematographers, and all that. Like there's a specific club for creators. So there's so many ways to connect to people, and it's so important. That's why I love it, because yes, when you come to New York, it can get lonely. And if you're busy with school and work and, grinding all the time, people forget sometimes how important it is to have social life. So, and especially that, like I love that it's spontaneous, because you can sit at home and be like, oh, shit, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. I don't feel like doing whatever work. I just want to go out. There you go. You don't need to wait too long. It's like, it's right there.
Absolutely.
So I love the idea.
Yeah.
And as we're finishing, one thing that I wanted to ask you, because truly you're very inspiring with everything you did from the beginning of the show, with everything you mentioned, being in tech and just moving to like just suddenly making this change and being like in the military and then coming back and be like, let me do a social app. So all these things, this is very inspiring, whether we're talking about the Cyasoon app or just for people listening and kind of like getting inspired of how to move on with your life, how to make things happen. And you mentioned that, just make it happen, just do it. And before we finished, I just wanted to ask you if you have any other advice for the younger generation, people who want to achieve things.
Yeah. I feel I don't want this to sound like condescending or anything. It's the opposite, okay? I feel so bad from the stories that this youngest generation is telling me. Okay. They feel deprived of the childhood that their parents had, that their grandparents had. They feel constant anxiety, constant, like, I guess not depression, but even depression from what they're seeing on social media, what they're getting from what the doom scrolling they're doing, and just, am I good enough? Is this like, I don't stack up, everybody has a better life than I do, and that's all a lie.
Yeah.
They need to be bold, and they need to make something of their social lives. And it starts with that first step, which is get outside and go do something outside of what's on your computer, what's on your phone. Use the tech to get off the tech. That's Cyasoon's kind of ethos. We want you to go do things in real life.
Find the real thing.
Find the real thing. Like what I grew up with, okay? What I experienced in the Army. Like, there was no social media scrolling on a field problem, during training. Like, there was nothing. There was you and there were your brothers, and we had so much fun, and we laughed and we joked, and we created the tightest, strongest bonds that I will never, I just got back from Hawaii, and one of the biggest reasons I went is because my buddy's stationed there. I paid the money, flew down there just to hang out with him, and I slept on his couch for 10 days. Okay. Literally his couch. He only has a 2-bedroom and he has a roommate. It was me. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not young. Okay. I'm not a kid in college anymore. But yeah, that's the love I have for Tim and Adam and Mike and Hutch and everybody else that I know. Yeah. All my friends who I've developed this. I want the young generation, I want them to have that. And you cannot have that scrolling on social media.
Great advice. It is a great advice.
Yeah.
Amazing advice.
And watching Netflix. Or porn. Or Instagram baddie photos, whatever the hell it is that you're doing. Okay.
Definitely.
You cannot get that. It's a euphoric feeling. This is why the Amish are so happy. Everybody else is not as happy, let alone miserable, right? This is extremely important for mental health, and maybe we should market ourselves as a health tech,
No, but definitely, going out of the comfort of your house, just like scrolling, social media while Netflix is on, and you're just like constantly just by yourself thinking that you have social life because you got 50 likes, but it's not real.
Yeah, no,
none of it is real.
It's not real, and it's never been real. Even when Twitter came out, everybody was saying these are not your real friends. They are fake. They are it's BS. And I've always said, for Cyasoon at least, our true competitor is definitely not the dating apps. We don't recommend using Cyasoon for dating. Sorry, just go get some friends first with Cyasoon. You can't go from 0 to marriage in one fell swipe. It's a myth. Go get some friends first. But no, our real competitor is not the dating apps. It's not the social media apps. It's not even Meetup or Eventbrite or Luma or any of these other event techs type stuff. No, our real competitor is Netflix and DoorDash. That's it. That's what's keeping people at home. That's what's keeping people from going out and doing stuff. I don't have to go and meet up with anybody and cook a meal or have a meal with them out and about. I can just order DoorDash and have it brought to me, and I can just sit here and I can watch Netflix. I can watch the 17th episode of the 17th show for the 17th night in a row. And that's my life. That's
So,
sad, guys.
yeah.
That's sad. Don't do that.
I would definitely recommend, my advice is to step out of your comfort zone. Even if you're a little bit shy and you feel like you're afraid to meet new people and like, oh, what do I do? How do I do that? What do I say? Step out of there. Just do it.
Oh, and we'll
Like
help
you
with
mentioned,
that.
just do it.
We're coming. We'll help with that. We got icebreakers coming out.
There you go.
And, we'll facilitate. We're always coming up with new ideas. And
Yeah.
we're only a year in. I know that sounds like a year sounds like a long time, but it's nothing in the world
No,
of
there's like
business.
a whole future.
No. You haven't even begun until you hit the 5-year mark. So
Okay.
I'm in it for the long haul. This is my 10, 15, 20-year plan. And so, this is my big play. And I want to bring this, my team, every one of them. I'd love to name Walter, Kevin, Yuri, Wendy, Eduardo, Michael. Let's see, who else we got? We had Lexi for a little bit. Who am I missing? I'm not missing anybody. I said everybody. Yeah.
Well, it's
Badass team.
growing team.
All devoted to the same mission. So, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm happy I could tell you all about it. Just, if you want to learn more, go to Cyasoon.com. Everything is there. You will see exactly how Cyasoon works. Very hard.
I will link everything down below in the link. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, so also your social media, the app, the platform, everything. If you want to connect, if that's okay with you.
That's right. Join Cyasoon is the
Yes.
handle. Link below. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Vika.
everything is
Appreciate
going to be
that.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You are
much
a blessing.
for coming.
So thankful for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Love to do more with you.
We will,
Every day.
definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
every day. Any day, just call me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to finish the show on this amazing note. Thank you. Those of you who watch on YouTube, thank you. Those who listen to us live. We're going to do some music and finish the show. Have a good day.
Take it easy, guys.